I'm not being dramatic when I say this. The internet changed my life. It wasn't because I went viral. It wasn't because suddenly I had a million followers. It was because I learned to do it the right way. And because of that, we now have a wonderful growing podcast for female entrepreneurs that are building brands. Because of that, I have this channel where I get to talk to you. Because of that, I launched a whole book and it's flying off the shelves. All of that was because 5 years ago, I got on the internet and I started sharing my ideas. Today, I want to show you exactly how I did it. I want to give you these strategies that helped me get out of my shell, get out of being invisible, get out of hiding, and start being a voice that is being heard. There are six things. There are six things that I did to go from being quiet and unsure and unconfident, if that's a word, to being this version of myself that's helping people, that is sharing my ideas, that is building something significant, that is changing things, that is a voice in my industry. I want that for you, and I know you want it for yourself as well. So I'm going to be sharing these six strategies. Stay till the end. These strategies have helped me get opportunities that I used to pray for before. It has put a book with my name on it on people's shelves. Let me tell you, now is not the time to play small. Now is not the time to skip anything that I tell you in this video. Number one, I worked on what I call my world, right? These are four things that directly affected my mindset. I worked on my discipline and my belief. A world means one, willingness to show up. Even before I was ready, I was setting up my iPhone 11 at the time. I was using a borrowed ring light. I did not feel like I was ready to start sharing my ideas or putting myself out there, but I did anyways. E is for endurance. Endurance to keep showing up even when it feels slow, even when you're getting two likes, even when there is nobody that is appreciating what you're doing. If you keep showing up, if you gain the ability to endure, I assure you, one day you will wake up and there's an inquiry for your services in your DM. Somebody is reaching out for you to come speak in their group. It starts gradually, but it happens if you manage to stay in the game for long enough. L stands for love for the vision. There's something that I always say: God gives only you the vision. Other people, the people that you're expecting to support you, might not support you, especially at first when it looks like you're a little bit crazy and you don't know what you're doing. But the vision that God has given you, hold it with love and run with it. That is going to get you places. And D is for discipline. Discipline to sit down and do the work, discipline to pitch, to create, to promote your work, discipline to do what it takes. There is a place of just sheer hard work that nobody can do for you and nobody can give you, and you've got to choose to do that for yourself. Working on my mindset was what shifted everything. It was the moment I decided I'm not going to be mediocre. I'm not going to be choosing the soft things. I'm not going to be running away from the hard things. I'm going to discipline myself and I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to put in the money. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to be worthy. I'm going to be valuable. The moment I started working on my mindset, I was able to then match my actions. The second thing I did that helped me get here quickly was I learned from the people who had what I wanted. I was very quick to get into webinars, to get the ebooks, to get the coaching. I was soaking it all in. You don't have to figure it all by yourself. I studied women who were building the kind of life I wanted, who seemed to be living the kind of life I wanted, who were doing the kind of things I wanted to do. I followed them, I studied them, I learned from them. I attended their classes, I took their ebooks, like I said, I downloaded the downloadables, I attended the lives, I followed the emails. I was locked in. I paid attention and I practiced. Sometimes we're praying for clarity, but we are ignoring the people that God has sent into our lives to teach us. Start learning intentionally, watch, apply, rinse and repeat, keep going. Number three, I did it afraid. Let me tell you, every last thing that I have put out, there has been some sort of fear while I was putting it out, from my YouTube channel to my podcast to the book that we just launched, all of it, to the pieces of content that I put out, to my Substack, to my Substack posts, to my Instagram content, when I started showing up on TikTok, all of it, there was something that was telling me not to do it. It was not the safest option. Fear of being cringe, fear of nobody watching, fear of not being found to be qualified enough. All of those fears that you feel, I felt them too. But let me tell you something, clarity will not come before you move. You might have a vague idea of what is going to be on the other side, but until you start taking steps, until you take several steps sometimes, you might not find the clarity that you're hoping you find before you start. I started posting before I felt sure. I started showing up before I was ready. And the more I showed up, the more I learned. The more I learned, the more confident I got. And it just keeps going. It's the same thing. On every level that I unlock, I find that it's the same thing. The more I do, the more I can do. Number four, I believed it was possible for me. Again, something that I say is if it's possible for me. There is no difference between myself and all the other people that have the life that I want. There is no difference between myself and world leaders. There is no difference between myself and industry leaders. If it is possible at all, it's possible for me. And I want to say this gently, just because it hasn't happened for you yet does not mean that it won't. It doesn't mean that it can't. The moment I started believing that the gifts and talents that God had given me is not for playing small, is the moment I stopped playing small. I stopped thinking that success, especially in the coaching industry or in the services industry or the consulting industry, was reserved for people in the Western world or people with the perfect branding. I stopped believing all of that and I started believing that what I had could help someone out in the world and I was going to put it out. You need to stop thinking that the things you don't have are going to hold you back. That's you holding yourself back. Everything that you have is more than enough to take you where God has sent you to go. You see that personal brand you want, what you have is enough. The knowledge is enough. The confidence is enough. The exposure is enough. It is enough to start, and every other thing you need, you will find along the way. The moment I decided it was possible for me, I stopped waiting for permission. I set up my camera and started talking. I opened my documents and I started writing. I started going live. I started positioning myself. I started showing up in spaces that I thought were not for me before. I started being visible on LinkedIn. I built my website. I positioned. Okay, so this is from me to you. Position yourself. If it is possible, it's possible for you. Now, number five is a thing in itself. And yes, it rides on belief, but let me tell you, you can believe all you want. But if you don't take action on those ideas, nothing is going to happen. That is the fifth thing that I did that propelled me and propelled my business and my brand. I took action on my ideas. They may have sounded crazy at first, they may have seemed impossible, but I took action in one way or the other. You know that idea that keeps tapping you on the shoulder? Do something about it. Write about it, speak about it, put it out there, and let it form. Bring it to life. If that idea came to you, you are a possible channel for it. I just got an idea for my next course. And at first, I was trying to sleep. Let me tell you, it was a Sunday afternoon. I was exhausted. It was one of the few times that I had, time to sleep. But I'm trying to sleep and I start downloading. I call it downloading because once the Holy Spirit puts something in my mind, it's like it just comes, it flows. So the download starts and it's like I'm really trying to sleep, but I do know that this is the clarity that I had been praying for. Now, this course is going to be concise, is going to be tight. All of it, the structuring, how it's going to look, it all came to mind. And of course, I couldn't sleep anymore. I got up and I wrote it down and I documented because I've learned over the years that if you let those ideas go, they will go somewhere else. And maybe that person will not prefer sleep over putting down their ideas. So I started really listening to my intuition. I started listening. I started taking action. If I could not take action immediately, the action I took was writing it down. Now I have a completely full notes folder that has ideas I'm yet to execute on, but I have them and I've documented them. And every time it's time to create, I have a folder full of ideas to go back and start from. I took action, and I keep taking action. And that's what you need to do. I launched services that I wasn't sure anyone would book. I launched services that no one booked. But as far as action was concerned, I did the work. And the capacity that comes from doing the work still came to me, even though nobody bought that offer, even though nobody signed up for the offer. I got the experience. I sent the emails. I started the podcast. I sent the invites. I sent the pitches. Some said yes, some ignored me, some said no, but I did the work. And the capacity that comes from doing the work is more important than the result itself. I kept building offers around what I knew. Let me tell you something. If you take action today and you continue taking action for the next 30, 60, 90 days, something is going to change profoundly for you. I'm proof of it, and I assure you. And before I round up this, let me tell you something. Ideas are instructions. We don't treat them like that. God is telling you to do something. He's giving you this idea, and you're telling him, it's too much. I'm too little. I don't have the means. I can't do it. I'm too inexperienced. You think that God didn't know your experience level before he gave you that idea. So please, please, don't play with your ideas. I beg you. It's why I'm creating an entire course around saying yes to your ideas. It's time to stop sitting on your brilliance. It's time to stop hiding. One of my clients this morning, in fact, we had a coaching call this morning, and she's like, I'm ready to stop hiding. I'm ready. I hope you're ready as well. And if you're ready, the waitlist to my course is going to be in the description. You can join the waitlist, and I'll tell you all about it the moment it comes. And of course, you know that for my early bird people, I always give extra bonuses. Yes, the internet is full, but there is room for your own ideas. There's room for your own execution, for your own interpretation of things. Number six, that really tied it all together, is that I started building a brand intentionally. I wasn't just posting. I wasn't just telling people to come and buy. I was building a brand, an experience, a feeling, a community. And how did I do that? I told my stories. The more of my stories I told, the more people started to connect with me because they could see themselves in the story. Because the things that I create, the solutions I create, my coaching, my consulting, my resources, my courses were targeted and created for the woman I used to be, for the woman who has not yet started or has started but is still trying to find clarity. When I told my stories, the people that ended up working with me, they could relate with me and they loved it. And so they were able to work with me because they knew that I knew where they were and where they were going and what they were trying to do. I picked a message. I picked a direction. You cannot speak to everybody. You cannot help everybody with everything. But if you sit down and look at the collection of your experiences and your expertise and your skills and your story, you will find the special, specific set of people that you can help, and it will all fit in. I got clear. Let me tell you, clarity is a bulk of the work, because when you're clear and you get clarity from taking action, when you're clear, you can take more action, and the more action you take, the more clear you get, and so on and so forth. That's what personal branding is: your message, your story, your people, your value, your presence, all of it with intention. So if you've been watching other women building something online and thinking, could that be me? Could that be me? Could I be the one on the stage? Could I be the one putting out the courses? Could I be the one helping others? Could I be the one raking in the amounts that they're talking about? My answer for you is yes. You absolutely could be the one. But you need the right tools and the roadmap and the mindset. And that is why I wrote my book, That Internet Thing You're Doing. I've been the girl who was dismissive of her skills, her talents, didn't even think she could, and I did. And so I wrote the book for the version of me that I used to be. And maybe that is something that you have not yet overcome. This is my book. I'm screaming, guys, because you guys saw the journey. You saw the destination. You saw the scary middle, the messy middle. And now we've got a book on shelves, guys. I'm screaming. But this is what doing all of these things has brought us to. This is how far it can take you. It can take you even further. This is just the beginning. We're going to have many more books. We're going to have many more guests on the podcast. We're going to have many more events. But I'm telling you, if you don't start, if you don't bet on yourself, if you don't give yourself permission to execute, to hold on to your ideas, to put them out there, to brand, to try and fail and try again, that life you want will continue to be out of reach. The link to get your copy of this book is in the description. Go ahead and get it. Send me a picture when you get your copy. I'll be excited. You'll be excited. And I cannot wait to be a part of your brand building journey. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Start taking action today. Now, to recap, what helped me build was belief in myself, discipline, believing that if it was available for others, it's available for me. Learning from what other people are doing, showing up afraid, taking action on my ideas, and building a brand around those ideas. Remember that if it is possible for anybody that you see on the internet, it's possible for you. Now, the links to get the book and also join the waitlist for my upcoming course that's going to help you say yes to your big ideas are in the description. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.